Alright, hey everyone. I'm just going to run through how to play my quick play golf game that I've titled Fairway Fantasy. So in my last video, I rolled up 6 golfers. We just gave them some ratings. We rolled up wood, iron, and putter ratings according to one of the charts, and then from those ratings we determined an overall rating for each golfer. So today I'm gonna run them through some holes. And so I've set up a 9-hole golf course here, basically just hole 1 to 9. I've put the par of each, so hole number 1 is a par 5, hole number 2 par 4, etc. And then I've also given each hole a rating. So this is hole number 1 is a par 5, and it's B rated. So holes can be rated from A to F. A is a very tough hole, and F is a very easy hole. So hole number 1 is a par 5. B, pretty tough, par 5. Maybe it's got some sand traps or maybe a water trap. Hole number 2 is a par 4 and it's an F. Easy, like basically straight, and maybe it's just a really long hole straight along the fairway. Nothing too tough. So typically golfers should have a way easier time to par or even go under par on an F hole compared to like an A hole. So I'm only going to play about 3 holes here. I won't play the whole thing, just make this video too long, so hopefully you get the hang of it. I'm not going to go over the rules again either. Hopefully you can read through the rules and understand how it's played, and then from this previous video of making golfers and this video today about running, how it plays, you'll be able to understand how it works. So first thing we're going to do is, for each hole, like the golfers have their overall rating. I've listed them here to the left, and each hole has a rating. So what you need to do then is you need to look at this chart where you cross-index the player's rating with the hole rating. So Ben Davis is a D rated. Hole number 1 is a B rating. You cross-index B to D, and it's a D. So on this hole, he's rolling under the D column on the par 5 chart. And so what I will do is I will set up all of their ratings for the first 3 here. Okay, so again, D versus a B, he's going to be a D. B versus B, so B versus B. Whoops. He's a C rating on this hole. C versus B, he is also a C. And then we have 2 more Ds, so we've previously determined that will be D and D. And so hole number 2 is a hole number 2 is an F rating. So D to F is a B, and D to F again is a B, and we'll mark these B's down here too. And so Ricky McRae is a B versus F. B versus F, he's rolling on the A, and C versus F, also the A. So these ratings will be from A to F for each individual hole. If you're rolling on the A column, you're likely to par it, or definitely maybe even go under par for that hole. If you're rolling under the F chart, then you're not going to do so well. So we're looking at hole number 3 now. It's a par 4. It's a C. So D versus C is a D. So these fellas will be the same. They're all rated Ds as overall. And B versus C is a B. And C versus C is a C. All right. And so what I do is I take it in chunks. I take the first 3 holes and I'll write up all the ratings, and then I will just roll through the first 3 holes. And then once that's complete, then I will do holes 4 to 6, ratings, roll, 7 to 9, ratings, roll. You can do it any way you want. You could do individual holes, do the ratings, roll, same thing. Or you could do the ratings for all 9 holes. Then you can simply just have a dice fest and roll it out. So Ben Davis is up first. It's a par 5. Hole number 1 is a par 5. And so we need to go to the par. This is the par 3 hole. There's also a chart for par 4 and par 5. We are using the par 5 table. He is rated D on this hole. So we're going to use the D column, row, whatever you want to call it. And you roll 2 dice. And basically the white die, since a golf ball is white, that's how I remember it. The white die is what you roll, 1 to 6 here. And then the green die is used for, like you can see on this D column here, A 3 and a 6 both have a secondary dice roll required, and that's what this secondary dice is. Unless you roll doubles. When you roll doubles, you kind of do something a little bit different. So I think in my 3 holes here, we should come across doubles at least once, if not more times, and then I'll show you how that kind of works. So Ben Davis, under the D chart on the par 5 table, and we roll a 5, 6. And so the 6 is here under D, D6. So secondary roll required, 1 to 2 is a par, 3 to 6 is a birdie. Secondary roll is a 5. He falls under 3, 6, so he birdies this hole. Good job, Ben Davis. Birdies that one, so he scores a 4. And so his overall is 4. And I'm going to put a B right there, indicate it's a birdie, because I like to keep track of how many birdies, bogeys, etc. they get. All right, Steve Mulholland is up next, and he is also D-rated. So we're rolling under the same column here on the par 5. And I roll a 6, 4. Oh, wow, awesome. So Steve Mulholland also with the 6. Secondary roll of a 4. He falls this within the birdie also. And so he also scores a 4 on this one, 4 overall. He also birdies that one. And interesting, this is a B hole. Yet these guys, a B hole, a pretty tough hole. Yet these guys have rolled up some birdies here. Okay, Ricky McRae with C. So now we're under the C column, and we're making the roll here. And it's a 5-2. And so C5. Oh, and secondary roll is a 2. He pars this one. So that's a 5 for Ricky McRae. Next up, Jeff Dickinson, again under the C column, and 6-1. So C6 is a birdie. You can see this is strictly a birdie. This secondary roll not even required. So C birdies this one. That's a hole, a 4 and a 4, and I'll put a B there for birdie. So these golfers having a good hole here. And so Mick Sullivan is a D, D6, and secondary is a 3. He birdies it. Wow. These fellas are having, and it's a B there too. They're having, all of them having a good round here. Good start to the round. And Larry Jones under the D also. There you go. We got doubles for the first time. So what happens when you roll doubles? You ignore this chart. You don't take the result from this chart. You move over here to the side here. This is par 5, and this is the par 5 here, doubles. And I rolled 3-3, so you go to 3-3, and it says wood. So what we do now is we need to go to Larry Jones, and we're going to use his wood rating. So Larry Jones, his wood rating is a D. Unfortunate. He's iron and putter are C, but he's rolling against a D. So D. Now what we do is, and I've just written it down here because I just didn't want to keep flipping pages back and forth. We rolled a 3-3. So on this doubles adjustment, 3-3 is a -1. So we got to remember it's a -1. So what we'll do is we'll set this aside as a 3 to remind us that that's the doubles we rolled. So we'll, if we need to go back and look, we'll remember it's wood and it's a -1. So this is a par 5. So what we do is we go to the par 5 doubles table, and Larry Jones is a D wood rating. So par 5, we go to the D, and we remember that we have a -1 rating. So you just roll on the par 5 doubles table to see what happens, and you adjust it by 1. So we rolled a 3. D3 is a bogey, but we had a -1 rating. So you actually have to move in the worse direction. If it was a plus, you'd move in the better direction. Bogey moves up to a par. In this case, a 3 goes down to 2, so you move up 1 and still a bogey. So he bogeys this hole, and we're looking at a 6 for Larry Jones, unfortunately. And so that's a 6 overall, and for bogey, I'll just put a little BG there. Let's say that we had, the adjustment was, no, let's say that we had rolled a 2. And so D2 would have been a bogey, -1, you'd move up, he would have double bogeyed it, okay? Let's say that, just for example's sake, so that you understand the rules here, let's say that I rolled a, maybe he had a C rating and we were under the C chart, and we rolled a 2, so it's a bogey, and let's say he had a -2, so you when you do this, the minus rating, you move up. So but you can only go up 1, but we need a -2. So, but what you do is you -1, -2, you move over to the right. So he would go from bogey to a double bogey. Okay, so that's the way that works. Hopefully that you understand that. Let's move on to hole number 2. All right, so after one hole, it looks like we have a 4-way tie between Dickinson, Sullivan, Mulholland, and Davis, and Ricky McRae and Larry Jones falling behind a little bit. So hole number 2, it's a par 4, so now we're on the par 4 table. This is F-rated hole, should be easy. You can see all the ratings are B's and A's, so hopefully they do well. Ben Davis on the par 4 table on the B column with a 4. And we need the secondary roll of 6. He birdies this one. Good job, Ben Davis. And that's a 3. And so you just add 4 and 3 is 7. He birdied this. I'll put a B there. All right, Steve Mulholland with the B also. And we get a 6-5. And B6 is a birdie. He also birdies it. And he's also at 7. Ricky McRae with the A. So he's in A column here. Oh, we got doubles. We got the 5-5. So what we do, like we did before, we move over to the doubles section of the par 4 or whatever hole you're on. 5-5 is a putter. So we're using putter. We'll set that aside to remember. So now we need to go to we are on a par 4. So we need to go to the par 4 doubles chart. And sorry, 5-5 is a +1. Par 4 doubles chart, and we're using putter of Ricky McRae. Ricky McRae, putter is B. So we're rolling on the par 4 doubles chart, B column, and we get a +1. Roll it up here. We get a 1. It's a par, but at +1, it still moves it just up to a par. So that is a 4. Yes, and so he's at 9. He pars that. All right, let's move on to Jeff Dickinson. He's rolling under the par 4 A column with the 6. He birdies this. That is a 3. That is a 7. And birdie is a B. All right, so far three players still tied up at 7, and we're moving on to Mick Sullivan under the B column. With the 3, he pars this. So that is a 4, and he's at 8. And Larry Jones, again, under the B. It's a B2. That is a par 4. He's at 10. All right. As you can see, the holes go by really quickly. Like, it's basically just one roll, and you can find out what they shoot for the hole. You know, other than rolling doubles, which doesn't occur too often, but it does. And then all you need to do is quickly just check what iron or what club he's using, check his club rating, go to the doubles table, make sure that you have your adjustment, and then it's the second roll of a D6, and you got your result right there. So moving on to hole number 3. So this is a par 4. So again, we're on the par 4 table. Ben Davis, this is a C-rated hole. So, you know, not too tough, not too hard, or too easy. And so he's under the D chart here. Let's roll him up. 2, and a secondary roll of 1. So secondary roll of 1 puts him at a bogey. So he rolls a 5, gets a bogey, and that is 12 overall. And Steve Mulholland again under the D. 2-5. So 2 again, and 5. Oh, he actually pars this one. So he's the 4 with the 11. And so Ben Davis with the bogey moves out of contention for that leading spot. Steve Mulholland with the 11. And so we're looking at B column, and a 2 pars it for 13. All right. And Jeff Dickinson with the C column with the 1. C1 bogey. 5. 12 for Jeff Dickinson. So looking like right now, Steve Mulholland in the lead by 1 shot. And a D column with the 2 and the secondary roll of 1, a bogey. So bogey also for Mick Sullivan, and that is 8. That's 13 with the bogey. And Larry Jones also under the D column. And with the 4, D4, it's par. 4, 14. So I just rolled up three holes. That's how quick it is. You know, typical golf play, they play 18 holes. So what I do, when you know I played around a little bit, and what I do is I'll play 9 holes, because that's, you know, that takes a little bit of time, but not too much. I play 9 holes. That'll end my session, and then what I will do is, for my next session, I'll play the same 9 holes, and then they'll get a result. So it's almost like, you know, on day 1 they play 9 holes, day 2 they play 9, and then your overall result for that golf course is what it is. And then you move on to the next course. But it's that easy to play. You know, you just, you know, cross index, get some ratings, some quick rolls to get your results. And yeah, hopefully that explain. I don't think I missed anything in the rules. I think I pretty much covered everything that I wanted to, all the different situations that I can come up. So hopefully you can play this and have some fun. Let me know what you think. Thanks all.